going, everybody? It's your boy Brees, and you're now tuned in to a new episode of the What's Cooking podcast. So Mike's still out. Just praying everything goes well for him. So right now I'm here by myself, but I'm here with a special guest, somebody known for a good amount of time, and she's really been an older sister to me. She's been an inspiration. I've seen her do a lot of amazing things, but the story she has for y'all today, y'all going to tune in. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, and we're gonna get started.
All right. He's totally lying. I'm not a big sister. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. What's going on, everybody? What's cooking? My name is Jalicia. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm old. I'm not going to say my age, but I'm kind of old. And I started my trucking company about 6 months ago. And right now, overall revenue, we're sitting at 6 figures. So
6 figures in 6 months.
Yeah, we're here. 6 figures,
That's
6
what's
months.
really cooking right there.
Yes, sir.
That's what's really
Yes,
cooking.
sir.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about, your background going into your trucking venture. Like,
Lord
how
have
did you
mercy.
kind of get into it?
Lord have mercy. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I taught and I still be trying to teach 5th grade math in Brooklyn. Shout out to all those charter schools I done gotten a chance to impact. So I started off teaching impact, yeah, because I was doing something in there. But yeah, so I started off teaching. I had a little moment in the military as well, tore my shoulder. So, I was like, let me chill off of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a couple of things about me. I do photography, I DJ, and yeah, so while I was teaching, I met Brees via the internet in 2000, I want to say like 18,
19.
Yeah, 18, 19 on another
Business venture.
Which is really working out. Right. It's working out great still to this day. And basically what ended up happening was with the whole COVID thing, I felt my job was, I don't know, it was unfair to some of the people, some of the staff members who really worked hard and gave a lot to the schools. And so I said to myself, if I wasn't going to teach, what else would I do to feel value as a person that works hard? The one thing I didn't like is just I work hard and gave so much hours and this, that, and the third to just feel overall like they don't really care if I'm there or not. So I opened up my trucking company just looking up videos on YouTube. And it fell in my lap. I didn't type in on YouTube like trucking, like let me know about trucking. It just was there and I clicked into it, rabbit hole, and now I'm here. So
yeah, I'm happy to have you here.
Yes,
yeah, because trucking is really the new wave. Like, I feel like everybody over social media is going crazy with wanting to do trucking, or at least wanting to know what it's about. Even me, I was kind of interested in it. And I actually have a couple other friends who have been doing it for a while too. But yeah, to backtrack a little bit. So basically the origin story of how I know Jalicia is basically, you guys know how the whole 2020, I would probably say 2019, was kind of manipulated by the whole Forex thing going on. All these marketing companies trying to use like Forex to just build their businesses. Yeah. And that's kind of why I was laughing at the word impact, because they used to abuse that word a lot. Everything was impact. You got to impact others. It's just like, you're not really impacting others. You're just taking people's money.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect to them, but that's the truth to what it was. So it's like, I was probably the first person to kind of break off, like in our group, if you want to put it that way. And when I did that, I kind of motivated a lot of other people that saw the light, if you'd say, to kind of break off too. And Jalicia was definitely like the first person that was like with me when that happened. So we kind of ran it up, like just on our own, actually trading and stuff like that. And a lot of people, to this day, a lot of people still think like, Forex is a whole scam because of like the marketing companies behind it. But, me and her are 2 examples of living proof that this stuff actually works. Like, people actually make money off this, right? People change their lifestyles off this, So even me, like right now, I'm a full-time trader now. That's something a lot of people don't know. So are you. I don't know. To some extent, so are you. But.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a full-time trader as well. So I'm terrible.
But yeah, like we came a long way. We didn't give up long. A lot of people were just like giving up on it because the marketing companies weren't working for them. We kind of just like, well, first of all, we've been like past that, but we were like just, on our own grind, me, her, and a couple others, we were on our own grind, and we started actually learning how the markets like were working, and not even just like forex, but we started doing everything like cryptos, commodities, futures, everything.
Stocks,
So
all of it, options.
yeah, all of that. So you could tap in with us. I mean, I don't teach anymore.
Woo, child, about to say tap in with what?
Tap in with me. Like people think I'm too Hollywood when it comes to that. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, not for it. I will. Well, yeah, I'll like send you to the right person to get you acquainted.
Get some information.
Because I know there's some people that actually, personally, that I know that have businesses behind this where they educate people on how to learn stocks and stuff like that. People that have courses as well, stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically the origin, and that's the backstory of like how both of us got acquainted. So with that said, let's begin. So you told us a little bit about yourself. So now let's get into the good stuff. So how did you really start up into trucking?
Ooh, child. So after I went through my rabbit hole on YouTube, it was literally 2 weeks of like no movement. I'm like not even eating at this point. I'm just like, I need to figure out what I would really do because, you don't want anyone to determine your value at the end of the day. You want to say to yourself, if, I don't want to be here, am I going to be okay? Yes. You don't want to have it up in the air like, well, and, so I saw the opportunity of trucking, and I looked at what the beginning, steps would be, and I looked at my overhead. A lot of you who are asking about trucking right now, you need to look at your overhead. If you know that you are not going to have something like $3,000, I would say at the most minimum, $3,000, you need to, wherever you're at, focus on getting that money together and then pushing forward, but you have to also have the right information. So in a lot of the videos on YouTube, they walk you through step by step exactly what to do. So I followed along. They wanted me to start my LLC, or that was the first step, start your LLC. Started my LLC. I got my EIN number. The next step, you have to have your motor carrier authority, and you want to be interstate, which means you can go throughout all the states of America and Canada. Is that listen, I don't know my geography. Look, I got a map, okay? That's how I be trying to work with it. But so I got my authority active. You file some small pieces of paperwork that are like maybe $8 to $15, your UCR, your BOC3, and then pretty much after that you get insurance, which is basically the highest expense. My initial down payment for insurance was like about $2,000. And then once I got my certified mail from the government saying that I can be a registered motor carrier, I was like, okay, bet. I went to Penske, rented a truck, and the next day I was on the road. So that's pretty much how I jumped into it, just looking at YouTube, following step by step what they had on there. And I went with the flow. If they saying this is what works and they're literally showing examples, if they could do it, why not me? So that's how I shot my shot. So
6 months.
6 months.
So just the startup process, how long did that take?
Well, it took me, because I was teaching still and going through the whole, we're going to let you go. We're not going to let you go. We're going to let you go. They were doing that with me. So I was like not fully focused on my process of paperwork and, getting started that way. It took me, I would say, like about a month and a half. But I would say for someone coming on right now, it could take them about just like literally not even like doing the paperwork and everything could take you 15 minutes. And then you would just have to wait back to hear from the government. And that probably takes about 2 weeks. And then you're ready to go, like go get the truck and get going. So.
Okay. So after all of that was done, when could you say that you felt comfortable in terms of just like going all in with this?
Well, I never felt comfortable. And I think that's something I wanted to make sure to say, like, you don't grow from just being in some like little comfort, like a little nest. You know what I mean? Like you either gonna go for it or you're not. A lot of people, and I can say this about myself, even with Forex, like at first it's like, all right, I just want to do some of this and some of that. And it's like, yo, do it or you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So December came, and that's when I picked up my truck. I picked up my truck on December 23rd. I had to sign my severance paperwork on December 17th. And that was my decision. And I was like, well, signed away. And then the 23rd, I went on. So I wasn't comfortable at all. And it's not, entrepreneurship is not easy at the end of the day. You don't come into a schedule that's already made for you. You don't get told what to do. And as much as it sounds bad, like getting told what to do is easy, and then you just do it. And then you like, oh, well, I did it. They can't say anything. But when you have to tell yourself every single day, every single hour, every single minute what to do, that's not easy. Because, especially if you're indecisive, I'd be like, should I take this one? I'm not taking this one. All right, I'm going to take this one. No, I'm not going there. Like, it gets really, like, it's all on you, So it's definitely something to get used to, I would say.
Okay, so you told me Offset, you've done a lot of good things. So I know, for one, you just got a new house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations. And you also got married.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations
Thank
as well.
you.
And my question is, did the process of doing just those two things alone, like, did it kind of like interrupt what you had going on trucking wise? Like,
well, that happened prior to trucking. I shared it, I shared things when I want to share it. So actually both of those things, yeah, kind of, both those things happened August and September. I was starting
thinking this happened in like January.
No, yeah. So yeah, when I posted things and shared it, it was like, okay, here, now you guys know. But like, this was happening. This was already in the works. Like buying a house, ooh, child. Like that was happening for a minute, and Forex funds came into handy with that, as well as other things. Now I would say, like, now being married and now being in the home, trucking, I would say it's awkward timing. It's awkward timing. Like sometimes I have to get up very early in the morning. But other than that, like I'm able to be in my home. I've switched, I guess, my schedule kind of to be in my home more. And yeah, working on, normalizing my schedule to do the things I was previously doing to get married. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, wait, so are you still teaching or no?
I am not teaching. I have not taught since I signed my severance in December.
Okay. So my question was going to be, do you miss anything?
Absolutely. You in the truck, you by yourself, you know what I'm saying? So if somebody call me, I'm like, oh shoot, I get to talk to somebody. Cause like there can be days where I'll go I'll go to, PA, I'll go to Maryland, and these are, 4 hours or so driving, and I'm not saying nothing all day to anybody. I'm not talking. There's nothing to talk about. There's no one to talk to. Or share ideas with. So I just listen to podcasts and stuff like that. But
like mine,
like yours. That is, I did listen to.
Mine is the visual though. She's driving. She got to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was on my iPad, but I was listening while driving. But oh, okay. But yeah, I would say that I miss teaching, and I actually been thinking about like, hey, would I be able to do this at a third together? And ultimately, it's not looking too good for the teaching and trucking or teaching or going back to the schedule. And I don't want to sound like stereotypical where everyone's like, I'm an entrepreneur now, I could never go back to work. Like, people bash jobs after they become an entrepreneur, and I would never bash the work of teachers. I would never bash that, because the impact, sorry to use the word, but like what you do for those kids, like,
no, I think the trauma's gone from it.
Yeah.
We're good.
But, what you do for the kids and what you do for their families is unmatched. Like, trucking is great. It's lucrative. You will make money. You will clear your debt. You will purchase things, whatever that you need. You can set your family up. That is very much so real. But what will it fill you? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what would money do? Like, money is just not the filler for everybody. I mean, but, it doesn't hurt.
True. So is it just something that you do by yourself, or is it you and your husband that do it collectively?
So it's me. Initially, though, no one knew about, like, I don't know what was supposed to happen when I go on the road. So I'm like, you better, me, him, the dog, we all in the truck. We stayed.
I forgot about the dog.
Yeah, Fatty, your little self. Shout out to Fatty. But yeah, we all was in that truck, child, because I didn't know what to expect. But after the first month and change, he was like, can I do my own job now? And I was like, yeah, you go do your job now. Shout out to Jerm, my baby. He works from home. He's a data analyst. So he's good. He can be remote with it, but it was safe. So he let me go ahead by myself. So
yeah, the money runs deep in this family.
Chill. Yes. Oh Lord.
That's a couple goals right there.
We all right. We doing all right, man. We trying.
Yeah. So important question. When's the barbecue? Summertime just started.
Nah, you know what?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, but no.
That's offset. That's offset.
No, you're right. You're right. Okay, good.
Somebody's going to be watching this like 2 years from now wondering the same thing.
Right, like where's the damn barbecue? It's going to happen, though. Don't worry. It's coming to you guys. It's going to be crazy, too. I promise. It's going to be crazy.
Shit, better. You know, I love me a good party.
Yeah, word.
Yeah. So 6 figures in 6 months. So I know you have like a video, and it's funny because I didn't see it. Like I saw it in somebody's story. I was like, what? When did this drop? I didn't get a chance to watch it personally, but I know you have a video on it. But shout out to YouTube, by the way, if anybody wants to go watch it.
Well, actually, I'm holding it hostage. It's unlisted because.
Oh, okay.
The only reason is because people have asked me so many questions, and I've literally in my videos, in my reels, I've said the answers, and it's like.
It gets annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying, but these are the small details where if you want to skip steps and just run directly to the money, you're not going to be there for long. And so I'm not trying to like haze people, or I'm not no one's teacher or anything, but like we got to do better. Like we need to focus. Like if there is a video that's telling you exactly what to do and then you come ask me a question based on what I just said in the video, like, bro, like pay attention, bro. Like, and I'm a person, I don't ask people questions like, if I'm like, you give me a moment, you tell me something, and I ask you once, I'm not going to ask you again because who knows when the next time I'll have access to you or that next person. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I have questions or someone's teaching me something or giving free information, I take all of it and I'm grateful for it. So I, kind of expect the same thing back. Like I don't got to record. No one has to do anything that they're doing. So if someone's going to give you the game or whatever it is for free, yo, pay attention. Like replay that joint. Like, dang.
What they say is you could take a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
But no, as I said, I was saying, you could shout out your YouTube, by the way.
My
Just
YouTube, I think it's like Trader J News. So it's got some trading on there, and it's got some
a lot of good gems up there.
Yeah, so I'll put some vlogs on there. So if you guys want to go on there, look at some trucking vlogs of just what I'm doing day to day. It's gonna look like everybody else on YouTube. I learned from them, but you'll see it from my point of view, and I keep it real. And also, I'm navigating in the city, New York and places like that. A lot of people are more so Southern. So I'm showing more the New York view of things, the traffic and like the madness. So
yeah, that actually brought up a later question for me, but I'm asked after.
Okay.
So basically, yeah. So going back to what I was saying originally with the explanation part, you basically walked us through the process to getting started. So now tell us more about like the experience.
Oh, child. You asking some good questions. Are you a journalist?
I should be, right?
I mean, shoot.
Finance, journalism.
Yeah, you do it. So the experience, I don't regret not a day in that truck. Even the days where I'm like tired-ish or whatever, I've had a great experience thus far. It was very awkward to come to terms with it, though. Like, I'm going to be really doing this for a minute, because of the social status or the social standards that we put on ourselves in the titles. But once I'm like, all right, once I got with it, I was like, wow, like I'm in Wisconsin, I'm in Minnesota, like I was in Ohio, like during the playoffs and stuff. I was like, I'm about to go see a game. Why don't I? And see, Antetokounmpo or whatever, his name is. Giannis.
I call him
Run and dunk. Right, exactly.
I don't call him by his real name.
Yeah.
He just runs and dunks. That's
it. So.
Say what you want.
But it's been a great experience to see different states. I would have never, in none of my years, said, I really enjoy going to Wisconsin. I know I tell people down there, like,
what's out there?
Like, what's out there? Like, well, they have these extremely large windmills, which I find very interesting. I know that sounds weird, but like, I'm like, yo, that really could cut somebody's head off or something crazy. Sorry for the violence, but yeah, like I think that just the drive there is very interesting. They manufacture this vegan, I forgot what it is, like a Twizzler, but it's vegan. It's mad good. It's sold in Target. I forgot the name of it, but they gave it to me for free when I was getting to their factory and getting their load. So it's just been a great experience. One thing I'll say, like, as I know some people are like, well, you're a female. I'm like, okay, but I know how to drive. Like, I can steer the truck. Like, I don't know why it's such a thing to be a female and do it. But to my females who are thinking about it, it's not like dangerous, but throughout these 6 months, thank you, Jesus, and knock on wood, I haven't had any like weird, awkward interactions, and people are actually very helpful over the road. Like, hey, like, do you need help with that? I'm like, actually, I do. And they come help, and then they just walk away like, all right, bye, have a good life. And I'm like, okay, well, you too. Dang.
Is it genuine, or you think it's just like a gender thing?
Nah, I think it's very genuine.
Or like a couple guys I talk to.
Nah, no, like, listen, and no one tries to talk to me. I don't also like, you know, try to look approachable, I guess is the word. Because there are some female truckers who I see and they're like wearing, you know, like bodycon and stuff like that. And I don't shade anybody. Wear what you want. I just, you know, whether I wore it or not, I don't think that I'd be approached. So, I mean, everyone's just literally handling business. So I appreciate that from the trucking community. I really do.
So are you, well, first of all, how many, well, I should ask, like, how many trucks do you have?
I had 2 trucks. So I own 1 truck and I was renting another truck. And this would be my advice to the people that's looking to get into trucking. Try your best to own a truck. Renting is hard. Renting is very hard. The fees for renting, first of all, they debit your account every single week, a flat rate and whatever you did in miles. So even if you don't do any driving for the week, you wanted to take off, you still have to pay for holding that truck. So just be aware of that. And yeah, like I had 2, but I let 1 go because the fees and the insurance for the drivers, and it becomes a lot of numbers. So I'm just operating with 1 now, but soon, I'm not going to say anything extra than soon, there should be another solid owned truck available for a driver.
So anybody looking? Anybody looking, she's hiring.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, so take us through just any day. Like, just take us through a typical day for Jalicia.
All right, so typical day, you know, to be honest, I wake up and I look at the charts. I'm not going to lie. It's a typical day. I wake up 3 o'clock, look for, you know, a trade by 3:30. And, you know, I set that up and then I keep it moving. After that, I go into the load board and I see what's available. So there are many, many people that you can take things for. You can take things for Amazon, like drive, you know, items around for Amazon. You can do Target, Walmart. It's just all about who you're connected with. So right now I'm connected with Amazon and a few other distributors. I have a direct shipper. We do paper cups. It's like the dumbest things, but people need them, you know? So it's like, all right, I'll take it to Massachusetts for $600 or whatever, you know? So typical day, wake up, do the charts, get on Amazon's load board, get on the regular load board, talk to my direct shippers, see what they have available. And then I just try to stagger the schedule. You know, if I do Amazon, it'll be very early in the morning, about 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then after that, you know, eat some breakfast, you chill. And then you get another load to do something probably local. I like to do local things. Amazon looks like me taking a few pallets off at the post offices. So if you guys order Amazon Prime, my business is running those products for you. So shout out to all of you who ordered on Prime. We were really busy and we made some money. So thank you guys. And yeah, then after that, the regular loads that I get from anywhere else, I don't touch. They take it on and off the truck for me. So I'm pretty much chilling after I do an early morning Amazon run. And then I go home and rinse and repeat.
So you're somebody that has a very big network.
Oh, child.
Like, I mean, you do. Because, like, you've taught, you've been in the military. And then you're Greek too, right?
Yes, I am. I'm a member of the best organization.
You shout them out?
Yes. Shout out to all of my sorors of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. You already know the vibe.
Because there's not like a secret code to that, like, you know.
Listen, sir.
No, because the reason I asked is because I remember I went to like it was a Sigma event, right? They wear blue, right? And I'm wearing, you know, the Jesus Shuttlesworth jersey, like from He Got Game, like the blue. It's,
oh God,
like, yeah, the Ray Allen, like the blue jersey. So they're coming up to me.
Yeah.
And some of them were just looking at me, like thinking I'm supposed to like come up to them or something.
Right.
And then one of my friends, he's wearing just like a regular shirt. I think it was red or something like that. And he seen one of his friends who was also a Sigma, and he was like, "This is my boy Fab. This is my, I don't even remember his name, but he shook like no disrespect to him, but he shook my hand and he said some code. He said like a bunch of numbers and stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, whoa.
He didn't know. He wasn't ready.
I was like, wait, what?
Oh.
He was like, you were Sigma, right? I'm like, nah. No. He's like, oh my bad. He's like, you know, you wearing blue, so I thought that was your thing. He was like, me, I just crossed. I was like, whatever.
Real
I don't know what that means, but all right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Don't worry. I'm not gonna say no
He was
quotes.
like, what's your name though? I was just like, it's Fabrice. So he's like, you know, he's having a little convo, but yeah, it was kind of strange at first. I was just like, whoa.
Yo, you be in the mix, so
yeah. But back to that totally skipped my head. But back to what I was saying though. So yeah, you have a pretty large network as is. Have you been building a network just in the trucking industry itself?
Yo, this guy's questions is great. I'm sorry. Like, you have great questions. Wow. So right now, the answer is yes. I've reached out to a few people that I've found on YouTube that basically helped me get started. And I gave the gratitude. I'm like, hey, like, because support is free. And the smallest thing make a difference for anyone else's business. So my comment, you know, like I'll comment under their, you know, videos on YouTube, like, thank you. Because of this video, I have been able to blank, blank, blank. And if that brings them business or if that helps somebody else or whatever, I'm all for it because it helped me. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not capped because there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of everything that's capped these days. So I make sure to like, you know, do my part. But,
yeah, we know.
you know, if there's something that's real, I'm going to make sure to say something and, you know, maybe somebody else will say, all right, let me give it a try too. But yeah, like Big Vic, he's great. The box truck couple, trucking out the box, trucking in J's. Wow, there's so many people. Trucking Bros, D Entrepreneur, like he's that dude. And shout out to J Swipes as well on YouTube. He's a young dude getting it, and he's from the city, so he's another person actually giving the city perspective. But in terms of network, like I make sure to watch.
Just trucking or?
Well, yeah. Just trucking. They have other, like, they always have other YouTubes involved as well, like Big Vic, that video, music and stuff like that. But, you know, I just watch their trucking channels. So it's great information. And right now, like, I did get a chance to speak with D Entrepreneur. And that's the person who's pretty much told me, listen, get your CDL. Like, get your CDL. So if you're watching this, get your CDL, because... like, I guess I'll get into that later. But yeah, so the network is strong and people will talk to you. Some people will not talk to you for free just because other people wasted their time. And that's fine as well. But yeah, the network is strong, and you just got to value any, you know, time you get with somebody, just value it and move forward with the information that you get.
Yeah, definitely got to put you in touch with Alejandro, because like he's been doing trucking for like a good amount of years now, and he's living large. I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't like me speak on his personal info, right. But he's living large. But he's very open. Like he's very amiable with everybody. So yeah, definitely somebody get you in touch with. And he's been like my biggest supporter of this podcast. So definitely shout out to Joe, man. I know he's gonna see this. He's gonna be smiling at the screen, but yeah, definitely, yeah. So yeah, so I was actually laughing too when you started speaking, because everything that you said kind of reminded me of like just us, like how we kind of got started. Yeah. Because that's basically what it is. Like you never know who's gonna really get you like into the position that you want to get into. Right. Whether it's with a job, whether it's through entrepreneurship, like whatever it is. Like just like us through like just trading and whatnot. Nobody knew each other from anywhere. Like we were all fiending to link up. Right. Like every time there was like anytime somebody was throwing like a barbecue or something, everybody gotta come through. Like I'm throwing a barbecue, 4th of July, everybody pull up. You know, there's a party. Who's coming to this party with me? Like
that's such a fact. Like
let's all link up for dinner. Like everybody was just, you know, we didn't know each other from anywhere. So everybody was just like so anxious to meet each other in person and stuff like that. We only knew each other through Zoom, through Telegram, through Discord.
Just chatting away.
Through even iMessage. Right. So, you know.
And that's crazy how technology can bond people. Like
yeah. And it's not even just people from New York. Like it was people from all over.
Or people moving from New York.
Even different countries too. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just just listening to you speak on your network, it just reminded me a lot of just our network already. So no, it just shows how great of a person you are. I appreciate it. And how great you work with others.
I appreciate it. You know, I be trying, you know. I try.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm definitely grateful for all the help that, you know, you've helped me out with, and vice versa. Well, can't say vice versa, but yeah, you still yeah, I want to say you influenced me, but you still had an influence on me though. Yeah. I know I probably did it with you too, but yeah. And yeah, that's amazing. So what would you say is like next in terms of the well, I mean, you kind of answered that, but next in terms of like, you know, your trucking ventures, like what are probably like your goals for like the rest of the year and even next year?
Well, I'm definitely trying to close the year out with another 6 figures. You know the vibe.
A mil.
That's what we.
A mil.
Well, hold on. I need a break. I need a nap.
A mil.
I need a nap. Okay. No, I'm definitely trying to close the year out with another, just doing well. Because as much as I can say, okay, my business has made 6 figures, like there's expenses, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm just sitting on just cash. Like, don't come try to rob me. I ain't got it for you. I'm broke. Like I'm broke. Like, nah, I'm capped. But I'm trying to close out this year with the amount of the biggest amount of net profit, I possibly can, to then put others in the same position. I think that Black business is very important, no matter in whatever aspect, because I can hire whoever I want. I don't care what your record was, what you did well, hold on, I do care, because you ain't about to do that to me. But if things happen when we're younger, or even now, we make mistakes, and you should be able to have a second chance. And there are a lot of places where you can't get that. That's just the real. So I plan with my business to make sure that if I can help somebody in whatever capacity, like, hey, be a manager, be a dispatcher for my company, I'm going to try to, get that in tune for people so they can see not only what it's like, but also learn. I mean, well, they can learn, but they also earn, I guess, from the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who comes and quote unquote works for me, you're not really an employee. You just here interim so that you can get your business started. I don't want any employees. I want more people to start their businesses. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal, to get more people seeing what it's like, experiencing it, and then ultimately starting their own companies and just growing. Transportation is not going anywhere. Everything that you got, from your head to your toes, it comes from a truck. It comes off of a truck. It come off the plane into a truck. So we need more truckers. It's not oversaturated, all that blah, blah. We need it. So I'm going to close with my CDL in September. I'm going to buy a bigger truck, which means I'm going to have my small truck, which means we got more drivers and da-da-da. So that's my plan. That's my game plan for the rest of the year.
Nice.
Yeah, sure.
So my follow-up question is kind of a 2-part question. So I was going to ask, well, actually, before I even get to that, 'cause I feel like it's a bigger question. My question right now to you is, what's the trucking industry like in New York specifically? Like, would you say it's competitive? Would you well, I mean, I don't know.
This guy's questions. Oh my God.
You tell me, because I really have no idea.
You got great questions. I'm serious. Like, you might got to look into journalism. Like,
no, I'm taking notes on this. I'll be real too.
Yeah, I thought.
I'm gonna rewatch this and actually write some stuff down.
I thought about what you would ask me today.
I could be right now, so.
And I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna ask me, but now I'm getting the questions.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wrote stuff down here.
But it's great. Like, I'm sorry. I just had to give you your props. Like, this is great. I feel very happy to be here and talk to you about this. What is it like in New York? It is woo child. I personally do not like driving in New York. Because there's work to be done in New York. Don't get me wrong. You can work. There's a lot of like furniture stores you can get your truck, acquainted with. You could do some furniture business with them, moving and hauling. And there's just general freight in New York. But to get to one place and get to the other place, between the traffic and then people driving crazy, you're going to have a very stressful day, and you probably won't be able to do as much in a day, as someone else who's like basically has no traffic, or, there's more space for people driving crazy. So every time I come to New York, it's pretty much doing Amazon at that 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. slot, because there are no cars on the road. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. There was a couple times where I said, I'm going to do the Amazon midday, 12 o'clock. Worst decision of my life. I was in that truck. I felt sick to my stomach. Like, why did I put because it was me who put myself there, right? Like, it was my decision. I chose. You have the power to choose. I chose it, and now I'm pissed. But it's New York market. There's work there, but you won't be able to really maximize. You're burning fuel just sitting in traffic, especially if you've got the AC on. Like, you won't be able to get to places and pick up as many routes as you possibly can. So, for my New York people, I do recommend you looking into, I would say, Amazon when you start. Most people can't avoid Amazon when they start, because I would say look into them, because they have lanes that run in New Jersey, which is not too far from New York. And New Jersey runs like, there's just a lot of space. So you don't have too much traffic. It may say it will take you an hour, take you 25 minutes. Like, it's much easier to work in New Jersey, PA, and those types of places, I will say.
Yeah, because I was actually about to ask you that too. I was gonna say you don't really have to give away the sauce, but like, what states do you like driving the most? So I guess that kind of answers it. Unless there's more you want. Well,
I mean,
if you want to talk the sauce, that's cool. Like.
I mean, it's saucy. We've already here, so it's to give. But and there are people who talk about this, like they have the whole math and science down about it. So if they come here, they just getting a nice little package deal, and they don't have to watch those other videos. But the best states, the best way to run is a triangle.
Okay.
Like a triangle, offense or whatever they want to call it. But you basically want to be able to, at any given time, just like do a nice short run this way, maybe long this way, and then another short back to where you came from. So New York does fall into the triangle when you talk about like New York, and then depending on the angle, New Jersey, and then like PA could, fall into that. New York kind of goes like a little bit above some places in Jersey, but whatever. You want to just basically be able to have 3 states that you have, on your triangle. Some people do Delaware, Maryland, PA. Some people do Jersey, PA, Delaware. Like, just depends on where you like to go. And how much you want to pay in tolls and fuel, because that's a whole nother story. PA has the worst prices in fuel. I said it, fight me. It's the worst. Y'all fuel is terrible. $7. I don't got no money for that, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the fuel got crazy at one point. I was like, yo.
You said PA, right?
Yeah, PA.
Really?
I
thought it would be like New York or
Nah, New York, it was bad, but PA was worse. And they know, like, New York doesn't have, like, in where we would be driving, the boroughs and stuff, there are no truck stops and stuff like that. So PA will get you at a truck stop because it's a truck stop. You're gonna go there, and then they get you for your bread. So
I mean, what's the furthest you went, like you ever went?
South Dakota, North Dakota, going west.
And that's coming from New York.
Coming from New York,
okay.
And then southern, I think Texas. Yeah, I went to the top of Texas, basically.
From New York as well.
Yeah. So
it's deep.
Yeah, I couldn't even believe it, to be honest. I was like, yo, I'm outside. Like,
you're traveling without actually traveling. Like, you're traveling while working.
Yeah, and I stopped every state, and I got my little shot glasses and my magnets, because it's a documenting for me, like it's still an experience, like you were saying earlier, for me. And it's a, you feel accomplished. Like, yo, I went all the way there and back, and, I did my job. I came back with a bag. You're going all the way over there, you're going to come back with some money. Like, so it was really fun. Like, it was actually really fun. The only thing I would say that I would change is just taking a little bit more time when I get to those places, because some places I've never been to. So just instead of like going there, getting another load, coming right back, maybe go there, take a moment to see what they got going on, go visit a museum or something, and then come back. So that if I go over the road again, that's what I would be doing. Yeah,
because it gives more significance to your souvenirs.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said shot glasses, you might just place them all out.
Yeah.
Like on a shelf or something. And every time you look at it, it reminds you of not just the experience you had out there, but just the fact that, wow, I really went here. Like, I really did this.
Right. And the truth is, like, a lot of people, as much as we are from America, whatever, like, we're not going to these states. Like, I can say, yo, Breeze, meet me in Minnesota. You're going to be like, what do you Minnesota for what? Like, unless it's like
I trust you, so.
I mean, but like, in general, like, if you pull up to one of your mans like, yo, bro, like, link me, it's lit right now in Iowa. They're gonna be like, like, what are you talking about, Iowa? Like, but I mean, it's nice. I had a good time over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
it's good. So, going back to the question that I had originally, it's kind of a 2-part question, but I feel like the answer all flows all together in itself. So my question was basically, like, what would you probably say were your biggest mistakes? And if you had any, like, hacks or, like, advice to get, not just around those mistakes, but just to like, for a newcomer, like, to just be successful off rip, what would you say that would be?
Wow. Again, great questions, y'all.
I mean, you could kind of answer how you want to.
Nah, this is great questions, and I'm gonna
give mistakes first.
I'm gonna give everything. I did talk about some of this in my video, so because I think it's really important. Some of my biggest mistakes was trying to look ahead too fast. If you're new into something, you have to meet yourself where you are. You can't sit there and say, "I just started this business, I'm a millionaire." Like, that's a great affirmation, but like, you're really not a millionaire right now, and you're not going to get $1 million tomorrow. So every day you have to put one foot in front of the other. There were days where I took loads that sounded good, but they weren't good at all. Like, oh yeah, like meet me in Wisconsin with this. I'm gonna pay you, $2,000, but it cost me like, $1,200 to get there. Am I really making profit? You know what I mean? Like, am I really making profit? So, just seeing numbers and getting hype right off the back, I would say was, that was like one mistake. Only it happened once. And then I was like, hold on, I don't have any money from this. I'm actually never doing this again. But definitely make sure you know your rate per mile. Make sure that it makes sense, that you'll have the net profit after fuel, food, hotel, whatever it is. The other mistake I would say is not really a mistake. I just didn't have enough time to move how I would have wanted to move. And I tell people all the time, if I had more time to make the decision that I made for leaving teaching, I probably would have my CDL, and I would have never, ever ventured into the box truck game. CDL, if you have the larger truck, not even the entire back of it, just the front of it, which is the tractor, you make so much money doing nothing. Like, you make so much more money doing nothing. And that's just a little gem I have there. So box trucking is easier to get into. I forgot the word, the lower barrier of entry. You don't need a CDL. You don't need anything special per se. But take the little bit of time and put a little bit of grit into it and get your CDL, because I'll run 100 miles and get paid $500. Somebody with a semi, just the tractor part, will do 50 miles and get the same pay. Why would I want to take 100 miles of my day or 2 hours or whatever when I can take 45 minutes? And, that means that you can then do more, and then, more profit and stuff like that. So less fuel and more profit again in your pocket. So that was my mistake, but not really a mistake. I just wish I had more time. So that'd be my advice. Get your CDL and take your business seriously. Anybody you connect with, be real with them. Don't be, snobby, I guess is the word, because connection is what really moves this trucking and transportation, industry. But yeah, that's my advice, really. And do your best too. Some people be going half in, half out. Just do your best 100%. Because if you do it halfway, you're going to get halfway results and you're going to be mad. So y'all be lying about trying. Y'all don't be trying.
So I actually thought of a quick question too. And it's funny because I know you're going to laugh at this. So going back to when you were speaking about millionaires and affirmations and stuff like that, I'm going, it's an inside thing, but have you ever came across anybody that you feel kind of went with the whole course route, with the whole, have a Lambo. If you want a Lambo too, this is what you have to do. Like, have you ever came across people like that in terms of trucking?
Yes. And the funny thing is, this is crazy, because if you do follow their course though, like, you could get there. But the problem is the promotion of it makes it seem like it's just a snap. And that's always the problem with marketing, right? They market like no one wanted to listen. Like, let me be honest, no one listened to me. I've been vlogging this thing for a minute. Nobody cared until I said, yeah, what you make in a year, I just made in 6 months. And I actually pocketed more than you would after your taxes, right? So now everyone's all like, shaking the table. I'm like, oh, calm down. I've been trying to tell you, you ain't want to listen to me.
She throwing subs at me.
I'm not. Oh my God. Throwing subs at you. But it's real, you know what I'm saying? So when people market that, it's very much true. You do the trucking or you do whatever, you could get there. But the work that you have to do in between, you're blinded because you're just like Lambo, 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 like rolly, rolly, rolly. And it's like, nah, like I showed up today, I had a whole different look. I put all my chains on, I had my watch on. I'm like, nah, like I don't want to give that vibe of, you're going to be this celebrity trucker or something and you're going to come in here with millions of dollars. First of all, also, I bought that with Forex, so it doesn't even matter. But just to be honest, people see what you're doing and they're like, oh, if that's the result, then I'm going to do it too. But the work, oh my God, like there's days where I was like, Amazon got me, they got the wrong one. Like I'm going back to Amazon and I'm going to burn them down. Like it was hard, but people, they're not going to get past that because they're looking for the bust down AP.
I see
gang. Like they're not looking for the satisfaction of I did this work and this was my value that I put on myself today. and I finished it and I, got my bread. Like, nah, like they want the bus down. I want the bus down too. I'm getting the bus down, but I'm gonna get it on my time and it, it's gonna be right and fitting,
Yes,
So.
ma'am. So before I ask for your final thoughts, one thing I want to do is I do actually want to offer advice. So I think you should actually do like you should take your YouTube channel and kind of brand it around the trucking idea, especially like you said earlier, being a female trucker. A lot of people kind of look at you in like a underdog type of way, and I
Yes.
feel like with you personally, like at least through all the businesses that we went through and stuff like that, you were always like a standout, not just because you were always like pretty pretty well spoken, but also just the fact that, you didn't hold back from the whole, you're a female thing. Like a lot of people, and you speak about it a lot of like women specifically, like when it came to, the whole Forex thing, a lot of them were kind of like shy and whatnot because not too many females were in it. So it's like the same thing with trucking. It's like, I'm pretty sure you probably come across female truckers who, they're kind of, I guess you could say like nervous. They're not really too optimistic about what they're doing because, they feel like they're kind of by themselves. So if there's any advice I could give to you, would definitely be to get into that. But yeah, do you have any final words you want to say, any advice you want to give to any new truckers, anybody who's struggling and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would say I definitely appreciate that advice. And to be honest, I stay away from it because of my past experiences with other business ventures, but ultimately if you're called for a purpose, you do it. And so I definitely will take that advice into consideration. But my advice would also be to the females, like, yo, you can do it. And that's always been my message. Like you said, like, we doubt ourselves or we are, like you said, underdogs. And the reality is you can do it. Sometimes you could do it better, but do what works for you. You can do what works for you. And however that has to look, it'll look. But as long as you're happy, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So my new truckers, my female truckers, do your best. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Set your plan up and just shoot for it. And 9 times out of 10, I would say that it's going to work out. If you got 1 out of 10, God bless you. But 9 out of 10 times it's going to work out. Like trucking, there's so much money in trucking. So explore it and be diligent, but it'll work out for you, for real. It'll work out for you.
Nice. So thank you for definitely coming through.
Absolutely.
Especially, I know I kind of asked you kind of when the hype was going. So it kind of felt last minute because like as soon as, everybody was going crazy about what you did, it's like, I was quick to want to get this episode in. So, thank you for definitely coming through. It's a blessing to be able to have such, profitable people in your network.
Facts.
Inspiring people in your network.
But shout out to you too, though, because honestly, this idea to do this is genius. Like highlighting, different, like regular, but not regular people, like regular, extraordinary people.
Well, I'd say more so just industries. Like I have a lot of different ideas in mind. But
so it's great though, like that you're doing this. And I think that you're going to inspire a lot of people to do a lot of different things. So shout out to you and your network because at the first video alone, I'm looking at Michael like, what he said about that shipping and what he said, like I'm paying attention. So thank you for real.
I'll definitely put y'all in contact.
Yeah, man, for real.
Yeah, with that said, y'all see what's cooking with Jalicia. I'm Brees. See you next time.